The one with the secret closet is the 14th episode of the 8th season of Friends. This is directed by Kevin Bright, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode and share some thoughts. And as is usually the case, it's a really brilliant episode, and there are 3 main parts of the narrative, so we'll talk about each of them in turn. I'll talk about Monica and Phoebe first of all, and then I'll talk about the closet door, and then I'll talk about Joey and Rachel and a little bit of Chandler. Monica, at the start of the episode, won't let Phoebe into the apartment. We are led to believe that she's busy with Chandler, and then Chandler appears behind Phoebe. And of course he goes into the apartment, lets Phoebe in, and Monica's getting a massage from somebody else. And I can't help but think that this entire thing would have been avoided if Monica didn't have the masseuse come to her apartment. If she'd gone to her instead, I think it would have been less of an issue. But obviously Phoebe's hurt by this, and Chandler kind of lets it slip that Monica had been seeing this masseuse for 3 years. And Phoebe convinces Monica to let her give her a massage because Monica felt like it would be weird because they're friends, she'd see her naked, and finally she agrees to this, and she starts to make sex noises. And I think it's pretty obvious, it's never confirmed. I don't think it's confirmed, but at least I think it's obvious that Monica was doing this on purpose to stop Phoebe from massaging her. I mean, maybe not. Maybe those are genuinely the noises Monica makes when she's getting a massage, but I highly doubt it. And ultimately what happens with this part of the narrative is Phoebe plays her at her own game, and it just gets a little bit awkward, and they both decide that this isn't going to work. So it's good fun. It's nice padding for the main narrative. In fact, I wouldn't necessarily even say it's padding, as it does get a decent amount of time. We then come to the door, the cupboard. Monica has a wedding gift that's not exactly that attractive. I actually thought it looked quite good. It was bright and colourful and I liked it. But they're trying to find a place to put it, and Chandler suggests the cupboard next to the bathroom. And Chandler's never seen inside of this. So Monica's going to do this. Chandler tries, the door is locked, and Monica says to him, "If you love me, you'll just let it go." Clearly there's something in that closet that she doesn't want him to see. What could it be? I wish I could remember the first time I saw this episode. I really wish I could remember what I thought was in the closet, what I suspected was going to happen. I don't know if I predicted what actually does happen, but I doubt it. I doubt I did. And Chandler spends the episode, we cut back and forth every now and then, trying to get into this. And Joey helps, and he suggests maybe Richard's in there, and that's what Chandler isn't allowed to see. And then during this time, when they're trying different things to get in, we have a really nice conversation with Joey and Chandler about how Joey is feeling about Rachel. And I thought that was a really nice way to continue fiddling with the door while also making it quite a meaningful scene. And Joey is still having problems with his emotions regarding Rachel. And we'll come back to that in a moment. Chandler is then trying to use his credit card to get in the door. It doesn't work. The card goes to the other side, and he says, "Richard, if you're in there, could you pass me my credit card?" Which I found to be very funny. Always find that to be very entertaining. And he ultimately uses tools to take the door off of the hinges, and he moves the door away. And it's a mess. It is a clutter cupboard. It is the space where Monica shoves everything that otherwise doesn't have a home. And what I love about this is that we get to see the fourth wall. Because as he's looking in the closet, we get to see his reaction, and Monica walks up behind him, and we get to see the fourth wall. And I love it. It's so brilliant. And I rather always have a lot of fun with that. So I like that a lot. I thought that worked well. And I feel like it's probably true that even the neatest, tidiest people must have some kind of closet or drawer. I mean, most people have a junk drawer where they just have to shove everything that doesn't have a natural home. And I found it to be good fun. And then we come to Joey, and this is the part of the episode that's quite moving and quite meaningful. Joey actually, at the beginning of the episode, dreams of Rachel giving birth, and she gives birth to a baby Ross, which is quite terrifying. And then Rachel wakes him up because the baby's kicking and she wants him to feel it. And then they end up going to the hospital because Rachel's not feeling good. She's feeling like something isn't right. It turns out it's Braxton Hicks. Ross gets there just as they're finishing up the appointment, and Ross is really upset that he keeps missing all of these things with the baby, and he's not there for Rachel when she needs somebody, and it's clear that this means a lot to him. And then the doctor said that Joey was going to make a wonderful father. And I think that was probably painful for both Ross and Joey because, well, Ross is the father and Joey's not going to be the father, and he's enjoyed being there. So I think Joey did something, probably one of the most selfless things we've ever seen a character do. And, well, maybe there was a little bit of selfishness because Joey needed to distance himself from Rachel to help him manage these feelings, but he ultimately decides that, well, he recommends that Rachel moves in with Ross. And Ross is clearly wanting this, and Rachel quite quickly agrees to it. And then Ross remembers Mona. He forgot about her, I think, twice in this episode. And Rachel's going to live with Ross. And then we have a really beautiful but emotional scene where later on Chandler talks with Joey and asks him how he's feeling, and Joey basically tells Chandler he needs a hug, and he gives him a hug, and it's so beautiful and so moving and really, really lovely. Needless to say, this is a really brilliant episode of Friends. There's nothing about the one with the secret closet that I don't enjoy. Personal highlights would have to be the reveal of the closet and seeing the fourth wall. Absolutely love it. Also loved the moment between Chandler and Joey, both when they're having the conversation in front of the closet door and also when Chandler hugs Joey to make him feel better. Some really, really sweet moments. Everything about this works really well. I think it's an episode that I'll always really thoroughly enjoy. I really wish I could remember what I thought was behind that closet. Chances are I didn't have any thoughts. I probably didn't know what I thought was there. If you've just watched the episode for the first time, or indeed if you can remember what you thought was behind the closet, I'd love to know what you thought and whether you were correct. I doubt I ever would have been correct, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and all things considered, the one with the secret closet is a really brilliant episode of Friends.